Hi guys, it's Zeus_Persassy's uncle. I'm so sorry about my voice and how long it's been to be posting. I've been dealing with school and I'm sick, but I'm doing fine. Sorry about the wait. Today I'm reading the fanfic or podfic, I don't know whatever one it is, but I am reading it on AO3. It's called Deku by Orphan Account. This fic has me dying. So let's get right into it. It had been alarming, and downright terrifying to find out that the main powerhouse in the League of Villains, after All For One's death, was not its leader, but a 15-year-old boy with an unknown quirk that stared out at Hawks with an amused tilt in his head. Emerald green eyes sparkling in an almost taunting way, and a lightning smile that made Hawks' whole body tense and his heart race, the way he did the only before he entered a fight he would most likely brush hands with death in. Ah, Hawks, the boy smiled, and his smile was soft and kind and sweet, but his eyes were glinting and dangerous and cold. I'm a big fan. I had a poster of you back home, behind the All Might ones. He grinned childishly, and Hawks blinked slowly. I'm not a hero anymore, he said bluntly, and the smile turned from sweet and innocent to what he had imagining a leering wolf would look like. Me neither, the boy chirped. Although it could be argued that it never was one to begin with. I never even got into UA, he said softly. Hawks frowned. He didn't know this kid. Had he seen him before in his life? But just a few seconds earlier, he had watched this boy leash Shigaraki and muzzle him mid-rant with a few softly spoken words. He'd watched the villain that recruited him, Dabi, dip his head respectfully to Izuku before backing out of the room, and everyone had left, and there Hawks was. I never attended UA, Hawks shrugged. The boy rolled his eyes. It's not the only hero school. It's a stretch calling the place you grew up in a school. Where were you? What were you? 6? 5? Do you even remember your name? He smiled, and Hawk's blood froze. He did, vaguely. Sometimes the sounds and the syllables would dance away from his thoughts, and he'd wake up crying, thinking he couldn't remember his name. His name. The name his mother gave him. Yes, he said stiffly, a familiar feeling that was welling in his chest, and if he didn't know any better, he'd say the teen across from him living off of his emotions. Lucky, the boy breathed, and a sudden horror settled in Hawks' gut. Watching those eyes turn an acidic green lightning crackled along his skin. The boy's expression had twisted it on itself. The smile was dragged now. I can't remember mine. Deku. It's all I ever hear. Hawks was stunned at the imminence of the words. Dekus. Useless. This was Deku, the mastermind behind the USJ attack that had resulted in the deaths of 3 first-year students, the one responsible for the attack at the training camp of those same students that had resulted in Bakugo Katsuki being kidnapped and tortured with his own quirk. The boy had been inconsolable for weeks, and had claimed to not remember anything. The teenager was the one responsible for the number 2 hero Endeavor's death, the one that had single-handedly killed around 50 heroes after the unfortunate death of All For One at Camino Ward. This was the villain that had broadcasted All Might's death across the entire country as he cut the man's head from his shoulders. This was the villain that currently ruled all of Asia. Deku was a child. Hawks didn't know the world could mess up somebody this small and young. The boy straightened, all the insanity gone from him in a blink of an eye. The normal teen with the blinding smile stood in front of Hawks once more. He never felt more terrified in his life. "I'm gonna cut the center of your bullshit, Hawks," he said sharply. "You're still a hero. I know you're still a hero. I don't give a fuck who you killed to prove you're not. We know it's a lie. Also, that was my favorite hero, jackass," he hissed, narrowing his eyes, then straightened again. "You're alive because I allowed it. If you touch one of my family, your world will burn." Deku spat the smile again. "Besides, I think I'd be good for you to make your own decisions for once. I'll let you watch, well, the ones holding the key to your cage scream and cry." He giggled and ruffled Hawks' hair. "After all, I'm nice enough to let people make their own decisions. You can either die a hero or live for your new family, yeah?" And then the boy bounced from the room, throwing the door open and yelling. And Hawks was clutching his chest, knowing his entire world had just been shattered around him. In the distance, he heard the boy's chirpy voice call playfully, "Tamara, you owe me a coffee. And another round in that game. You promised. Fuck off and die, Deku." And that was the end of Deku, Deku, Deku by Orphan Account. This was a really great pick. And it was only about 800 words. And, well, people at this point are just getting really well with what they're doing at this point. But I hope you all have a great day. Yeah, and remember, someone will always love you. Bye.